So Daddy's going to go stay with a friend across town to write a novel. And he says it'll take a week. As we pull up to our tiny drab house, we see that my dad has picked up the new car he's been saving for. It's a slightly used Triumph Spitfire convertible, metallic blue with bright silver sparkles in the paint. The top is down, and it is immediately clear that there will be no family outings in this car because it seats only 2. We all eagerly stream into the house looking for my dad. He's standing on the threadbare green carpet in our living room with his back against a wall of fading beige paint. There's an expression that I've never seen on the face of my confident, arrogant father. He looks like a 10-year-old who's just been caught shoplifting. We are all silent. Phil, what the hell? My mom breaks the silence and draws our attention to the fact that through the partially open closet door we can see, nothing. She throws the door open and it becomes apparent that my dad has removed every jacket, sweater, winter coat, hat, scarf, glove. It's not even summer yet. Like waddling ducklings, my siblings and I trail behind my mother down the short, narrow hallway to the bedroom and our small family bathroom to see that my father has removed everything he owns from the house. And as if a lung were removed from a body's chest cavity, there's just empty space in the closets, in the drawers, the shelves, and the cabinets that express the piece of our family known as Dad. In less than 1 minute's time, the imperfect but dependable structure called our family collapses and then disintegrates into nothingness, into space. My mother goes through the house collecting any unwanted items he may have left behind. An ancient torn dress shirt that we now use to wash the car. A small cheap trophy that says #1 tennis coach from some forgotten student. My sister and I and our 7-year-old brother sit on the hand-me-down convertible sofa while my mother marches through the house building up a collection of Dad's discarded junk. My sister, Robin, is sobbing so loudly that my brother begins to cry just out of fear. My father has still not moved from his corner. He looks nervous and yet frozen. When my mother has filled her arms with enough of my father's rejected possessions, she carries them out onto the lawn and begins to pick them off one by one and throw them at the little sports car. You forgot that! You forgot that! You forgot that! For a moment, I feel sorry for the innocent little car being punished for my father's sins. My mom comes back in the house looking for another round of junk, but stops in the living room and commands us, "You tell him not to leave us!" By now, the shrieking, crying from inside the house, and the spectacle of my mother throwing trash at the sparkling Spitfire draws a crowd of neighbors. Throughout all this, my father is completely silent, until he catches my trembling lip, which indicates that I am about to commit the unpardonable sin of male tears. "Douglas, don't you cry. Don't you cry. Be a man. Be a man." No, I've spent my whole life terrified of my father. For some reason, I feel that I will be safe if for just this one shining moment, I talk back to him. "Be a man? What are you, nuts?" He breaks down. Tears begin to fall down his face. It's the only time I've ever seen my dad cry. And with my mother out on the front lawn, sobbing uncontrollably, being held up by a thin oak tree, our neighbors straining for a good look, my father quietly slips out the door, puts on his sunglasses and a navy blue Dutch boy hat, pops a piece of tea-berry chewing gum into his mouth, revs up the Spitfire, and drives away. That night, when my sister and my brother finally fall asleep, My mother holds onto me so tight I can hardly breathe. Dougie, I'm going to kill myself. Dougie, I'm going to kill myself. I'm going to take a bottle of pills. I'm going to take a bottle of pills and I'm going to kill myself. That is silly. We don't need him. Everything is going to be fine. Mom, I am going to audition for the Tony Grant Stars of Tomorrow on Steel Pier. When I get on that show, I'm going to be a star. Everything's going to be great. First, I'm going to be on Broadway. And then, Mom, we are going to California, Mom. California, Hollywood. I'm going to buy you a new mink coat and a house with a garbage disposal and a garage and a colored TV, like the Hennigans have. And I am going to be a superstar. I am. And then everything's going to be all right.